We're at Milford Beach on Auckland's North Shore for the final race of the Sovereign New Zealand Ocean Swim Series, the King of the Bays. More than 1,200 competitors registering, managing to smile some. Well, welcome to Takapuna Beach, venue for race 6 of the Sovereign New Zealand Ocean Swim Series. It is the King of the Bays, the original race in the series. More than 1,200 competitors taking part today from Milford Beach to Takapuna, 2.8 kilometres. Some new names to watch in both the men's and women's field. Expect Charlotte Webby from Taranaki to be the race favourite, but the challenge will come from Cara Baker. She is the current New Zealand 5 and 10k open water champion. In the men's race, Bryn Murphy, Stephen Kent, and also keep an eye on Andy McMillan and young Stefan Talbot. And a look at today's course, 2.8 kilometres from Milford Beach to Takapuna, a 200-metre start straight off the beach at Milford. They make their way along this beautiful coastline, take a hard right-hand turn and finish in front of the Takapuna Boating Club. It's a great course for the spectators. They can walk themselves along this beautiful coastline, follow family and friends.
It's definitely a lot of speed when it comes down to the end, and especially at the start to get out there and get out in front. But it's just down to having a lot of fun, really.
Now, Charlotte Webby, she's dominated this series. What do you know about her?
Well, she's a good competitor, and that's really something that, looking forward to racing her today. I've been racing her in the 5k and the 10k, so that's pretty good. No, but she's a great swimmer when it comes to open water, so I just got to go out there and just try my best.
Charlotte Webby, you're coming as the favourite today off the back of a very good summer. Do you feel the pressure?
Not really. I've just come off from a week of not training, so I've really come here to have fun and hopefully make the top 5 girls out. So whatever happens, I felt that I did the hard yards early enough to get the season win.
Cara Baker on the start line today, a quality competitor now training in Australia.
Yeah, no, Cara's a very good swimmer. I would have liked to seen her earlier in the season so we could have pushed each other a bit more, but she's an awesome swimmer, and I feel that she'll probably take it out quite easily.
And never underestimate also Melissa Ingram.
Yeah, no, Melissa can pull them out of the bag. Probably need a good run, which isn't one of my favourites, so hopefully I'm just going to concentrate on that and try to stick with the girls.
Bryn Murphy, no Cane Radford today. You're the #1 seed, but the challenges are going to come. You've got Stephen Kent on the line and a guy who swam very well in Tauranga and young Stefan Talbot.
Yeah, there is a bit more pressure on this one. It's a must-win for me to tie up the overall series with Kane. A bit disappointed that he's not here, but there's some guys with good local knowledge, so I think they'll be big threats today.
Yeah, Stephen Kent, Andy McMillan, they're going to bring plenty of speed from the pool, expecting that first 200 to be pretty fast.
Yes, and I'm notoriously slow on the starts. Well, I have been the last few races, so that's got to be a key aspect for me to work on today.
Well, the name Kent, it's a fairly famous name in swimming. Dean Kent, now younger brother Stephen Kent, on the start line for the first time today.
Yeah, thought I'd give it a try. I haven't really done much of them before, but I've been done the sort of beach series over the summer at North Shore, so thought I'd try the 3k event.
What is the key today if you are to win here?
I think for me, definitely the start will be more of a key for me because surf background with the wade and all. Hopefully try and get a bit of a lead and keep it that way. If I can get ahead, and then obviously I'm expecting them to catch me at some point, being more distant swimmers, just try and stay with them and have a go at the end.
Moments away from a start in the 2.8 kilometre, the King of the Bays, the original race in the series, and we're looking out at our elite athletes. Charlotte Webby in the red cap, she has dominated, but she won't have it her own way today. Cara Baker in the red cap, the current New Zealand 5 and 10k open water champion. And there is the #2 ranked man. His name is Stephen Kent, on the line for the first time in 2009, 2010. Bryn Murphy, the #1 seed today, the winner of race 1 and 2. Joining me in commentary, former New Zealand swimming representative Scott Rice.
Well, a beach start this afternoon, a 2:30 kickoff, so slightly later than some of the rest of the swims in this series, and this, Mark, will not be a one-horse race, one of the most competitive fields we've got on the line this season.
A couple of other names to mention in there is the New Zealand 200-metre freestyle champion Andy McMillan. As we see our elite competitors making their way along the beach, they've taken that first right-hand turn and automatically it is Stephen Kent. Now Stephen, he's a very good pool swimmer, the current New Zealand 200 individual medley champion. He also won the North Shore City Beach Series.
Well, the beach series, Mark, running 16 weeks of the summer, and Kent won every race he competed in that one, learning all the valuable skills of ocean swimming for this race today.
Bryn Murphy, though, in the #1 cap, doing a nice job at just tracking Stephen Kent here, making sure that he doesn't get too much of a gap. And I guess just thinking to himself, I'll make my move maybe just a little bit later on. But this is a nice shot of a good group of elite swimmers here, and we are now starting to see the cream rise to the top.
And in the red cap, Michael Shield from Australia, training partner of Trent Grimsey. Grimsey winning the event last year, so he is a force to be reckoned with today. And will be, I guess, confusing some of these elite swimmers in the red cap.
Ben Campbell-McDonald in the number 7. And this is the first look at 16-year-old Stefan Talbot. Now, he is the current New Zealand under-18 5 and 10K open water champion out of St Kennigan's College, and he finished 3rd in race 5, the Santa Surf.
Hi, my name's Stefan Talbot. I'm 16 years of age. I go to St Kennigan College and I swim for Hauk Pakuranga. The appeal of open water swimming to me is that there's a lot of people around. It's a lot more relaxed than at the pool, and everybody's just keen for a chat, and it's really competitive as well.
Now, just 16 years of age, it must be a little bit daunting getting on the start line with some very established open water swimmers.
Yes, it is quite daunting, but I know I can stand my ground against them, so as long as I don't get beaten up too much, then I should be okay. My strengths as an open water swimmer are getting into a pack and staying on the feet of some of the top guys, which helps to give me quite a fast time. My goals are to keep improving and just slowly chip away at those guys that are slightly ahead of me at the moment. Long-term goal would be Olympic Games, but we'll just see where it goes.
Big hopes, big aspirations for Stefan Talbot, and talking to him, he's very much wanting to work over the winter on his 1500 metre time, so he can just be a little bit stronger at the back end of the field. But this is like a pool swim at the moment, Scott. You'd think you're at the New Zealand Pool Championships, and these guys are swimming 400 in lanes.
That's right, nice flat conditions today with the westerly off the North Shore East Coast. But Talbot, he really knows how to play it. He's stuck on the hip of Murphy down at the Mount Maunganui swim, and he looks like he's doing exactly the same thing here in North Shore City.
At the moment, just trying to get an idea. These swimmers will be going through in their head, trying to identify some of the faces that they might be seeing when they're breathing up to their left or the right. And our first look at our number 1 seed, Charlotte Webby. She's dominated this series so far, and it looks like she is already out by herself. Not necessarily the best place to be going solo.
Well, she's got so much confidence, and here's the first look at Cara Baker. She is a Kiwi living in Australia, been there for over a decade now under the coaching of Dennis Cottrell. He's the coach of many, many Australian champions, but it'll be interesting to see how she goes in the first few stages of this event, whether she's going to just suck on the toes of Charlotte Webby there, save the energy for the end. It's going to be interesting, Mark.
Yeah, significant gap already. Charlotte Webby got about a 10-metre gap. But the interesting thing for Cara Baker is this is the first time she's swum in a wetsuit. So I just wonder whether she's just taking a little bit of time to adjust and adapt to having to change the stroke with a little bit of restriction that it does offer the elite swimmers.
And some impressive stats here from Charlotte Webby from New Plymouth. Has won 3 events this season. The Harbour Crossing, the Wellington event and the Tauranga event. And she hopes to take another one today.
As this group of elite swimmers make their way along the back part of this course, halfway through, approaching the drink station, believe it or not. Yes, put on here by the North Shore City Council. Mayor Andrew Williams handing out the drinks, and a Polynesian dance group to welcome these athletes and just remind them, hey, it is still all about having a little bit of fun.